Baka naman pwede.
Baka naman pwede?
Baka naman pwede.
Mga isyung napapanahon ating pag-usapan.
Baka naman pwede.
Gamit ang mga pananaw mula sa iba't ibang kalinangan.
Baka naman pwede.
Mula sa Institute of Philippine Culture, kami inyong samahan, tayo'y maghuntahan. Dito lang sa
Baka naman pwede.
Tuwing Huwebes, alas 3 ng hapon, dito lang sa Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Coming up next, New Wave on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
Radyo, 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 Radyo Katipunan. Radyo Katipunan. Radyo Katipunan. Radyo, Radyo, Radyo Katipunan. Radyo, Radyo, Radyo Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay at tenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng kwela. Radyo, Radyo, Radyo Katipunan. Radyo, Radyo, Radyo Katipunan. Radyo Katipunan. Radyo Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero sugod, todo sa kayod, dunong at tulog. Lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, Radyo, Radyo Katipunan. Radyo, Radyo, Radyo Katipunan. Radyo Katipunan. Radyo Katipunan. Radyo, Radyo, Radyo Katipunan. Radyo Katipunan.
If it's entertainment you crave, catch us on New Wave. Surfing through the latest on our shores. New Wave. Every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. New Wave. See you there.
And when it comes to what's happening, I'll serve you the facts. So please take the time to sit back and relax because this is New Wave. So hi everyone. As I said, I'm in a different corner of my room because I don't know, something is wrong with my computer, but whatever, we carry on. So it's been stormy the past week. I hope everyone is staying safe and dry. I know that college has classes right now, and for the students, it's currently rec week, so org life is an integral part of your college experience in Ateneo. Take it from someone who joined about 10 in her freshman year. But learning experience, it's a chance to really explore your interests, so I highly recommend going and making a lot of friends. So for the freshies, this is a good opportunity for everyone. Now, let's get into it. A little side cuento about our guests. A few weeks ago, I watched the Gary V concert, and when they played this commercial with the ASAP roster, I saw him there, and I was like, wait, I know that name. I know it because he's going to be on New Wave in a few weeks. So our guest today was the grand winner of Idol Philippines Season 2. His love for music started inside of his home, and we will ask him to expound on that a little later. At the age of 7, he got his first guitar, and from there, he began his musical journey. So here to talk about his new music and many more, please welcome Khimo. So hi!
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello! Nice to see you here. So how are you? What have you been up to the past few weeks? Not yet work-related.
Nagre-relax lang and
Ah,
ayun, doing music, sulat-sulat,
that's good.
and ayun.
That's good, of course. It never stops. So September is your birth month, correct?
Yes, it's my birth month. Kaya, ayun, dadagdagan naman tayo na isang taon.
Yes, Lord.
All right. Yes, yes, of course. Every birthday is a milestone. So any celebration plans you can share?
Siguro celebration, maliit na salo-salo lang and with family and friends, small talks, kainan, yun lang, masaya na ako.
Of course, of course. So, all right. Wishing you well for that. So, before I ask you about like college, which I saw you graduated recently, let's talk about your music first. So, tell us about like your origin story as a musician, like said in your bio note, like it started from the home. So,
Yeah.
how did your love for music begin?
It started since when I was in my second grade dahil yung tatay ko, my father, is a member of Sink Cooks and Waiters.
Oh,
And doon,
okay.
from that
Mm-hmm.
point of view, na-fascinate ako. So, parang gusto ko siyang gawin. Gusto ko siyang itry. So, tinry ko
Mm-hmm.
siya. And from that timeline, na-fascinate na ako. And ayun, na-develop hanggang sa nung nag-college na ako, nag-try akong sumali ng choral group doon sa school namin, yung
Ah,
University
okay.
of Makati
Okay.
Choral.
Mhm.
And yun, nakapasok ako and doon nahone yung
Of course.
singing skills ko, and at the same time nakakilala ako ng mga iba't ibang klaseng artist na nakatulong din sa akin sa pag-grow ko bilang Khimo. And
Yeah.
ayun, yung first competition ko, actually ayoko talagang sumali ng contest nung 2019, tawag ng tanghalan, and dun
Ah, okay, okay.
ang target ko lang nun is hindi ako magong, and yun, nagawa ko naman siya. And dun, nung time na yun, parang dun ako na-fascinate din na ba't di ko siya gawin professionally, ba't di ko siya pagkakitaan dahil yun nga,
Mhm.
gusto ko siya and sobrang in love ako sa music nun. And aside school, yun yung ginagawa kong avenue to chill, to recuperate sa mga academic
Yeah.
works, and ayun, that's chemo.
Great. That was a great origin story. And when you talked about how in college you joined a chorale, my chorale days were grade school to high school. And I think you're right. It's really like such an opportunity for growth, like as
Yeah,
both a singer and as a person, because you also learn how to balance your schedule, like academics and
yeah.
chorale life, since practice for that's very serious. And at the same time, you also all of a sudden have like a bunch of friends. It's like having nice teammates. So, very interesting. So earlier on, like when you picked up the guitar at a very young age, did you start out with formal training or were you self-taught? So both for instruments and for singing.
Sa guitar siguro yun, mga basics
Mm-hmm.
is from my father, and yun,
Mm-hmm.
dinevelop ko lang ng dinevelop, and also yung singing
Yeah,
came from my father's then also. And ayun, from time to time, yun, since available naman na yung YouTube noon, available na yung
of
mga
course.
songbook,
Mm-hmm.
yun, yun din yung mga thing na ginagawa ko. Siguro, di kasi ako malan eh. Di ako katulad ng ibang bata na ma-computer.
Mm-hmm.
Mahilig ako magbasa, mahilig akong magsulat.
Yeah,
Siguro yun yung mga hobby ko nung bata ko, and yun yung na-develop ko
that's good.
na nakuha ko hanggang ngayon.
That's good. They say there's really a big connection between readers and writers. Like I've
Yeah.
had so many authors tell me that the best writers are also avid readers. So we're going to get into that in a bit. But as I said earlier, I saw your graduation photo. So congratulations.
Thank
But
you so much.
what interests me actually is what you took up in college. So you took up political science, yes, and you majored
Yes.
in paralegal studies, which is
Yes.
very different from music. So what made you choose that as your field of study?
Actually, hindi ko siya first choice.
Ah, I see, I
Ah,
see.
it's not my first choice. And ayun, siguro nung senior high ako, ang gusto ko talagang i-take noon is psychology.
Oh,
Dahil sa
okay.
school namin is psychology is quota course. So may
Mm-hmm,
mga
mm-hmm.
limits lang na enrollees at that time.
Yeah.
And di ako nakapasok doon. And
Okay.
dinamdam ko yun. And ayun, parang ano pa ba yung mga ibang course na pwede kong kunin? And nakita ko yung ate ko na nagte-take din ng political science and why not? Tinry ko and
Yeah.
I made it. Nakapasok ako sa
Yeah.
college and yun, nakapagtapos ako ng political science. Pero
Exactly. You did it. You graduated.
it is not my first choice pero nung nakapasok ako parang na-fascinate din ako sa mga pinag-aaralan namin noon and eventually na-in-love din ako sa political science. And yeah, natapos ko naman siya.
Yeah. Sometimes life has other plans.
Yeah, for
But yeah,
sure.
at least you enjoyed and you learned from it. So you said that when you started studying like political science, then you found it interesting na you were able to see things that you liked. So what was it that you started liking about political science, especially because it's so different from your initial interest of psychology and music?
Siguro yung isang bagay na nagustuhan ko sa pag-aaral ng political science is ano siya eh, applicable siya sa buhay. Since yun nga,
Ah, that's
mga
interesting.
bylaws, mga
Mm-hmm.
mga batas yung pinag-aaralan mo. And yung mga batas na yun is applicable siya sa buhay. So, yung batas na yun is ginawa para sa tao. And
Ah,
we are all humans.
mm-hmm.
Kaya yun yung thing na nagbigay sa akin ng interest sa political science. So, yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's a very interesting way to look at it. And I like that you pointed out that like political science, it's not just like it doesn't just concern the laws, but also like human nature. So in a way, you are also kind of developing the psychological part of your thinking skills. So
Yes.
anyway, now with political science and music, both as disciplines, can you find similarities between them? So any similarity or applicable lesson from politics to music?
Siguro, yun nga, tulad nga na sabi mo, yung human nature. So,
Human nature.
yung
Mhm.
political science and also singing and music is pwede siyang i-apply in a way
Mhm.
kung paano mag-react yung tao, kung paano
Mhm.
gumawa ng bagay yung mga tao and kung paano gawin yung mga bagay na with consideration. So, doon ko siya i-relate doon sa dalawang yun.
All right. Okay. So now let's talk about your time on Idol Philippines. So let's be on the light side first. What's one Idol Philippines story that you have or you experienced that you have not yet shared?
Siguro yung mga off-cam na
Yeah.
experiences ko with other idol hopefuls.
Yeah.
Sobrang, kasi nakikita lang ng mga tao sa Idol Philippines or when we are on air na
Mhm.
yun nga, we are competing with each other na yun nga, we're
Yeah.
singing na we
Mhm.
wanted to win. Pero off-cam nun, dun talaga lumalabas yung yung ibang aspect ng competition na yun dahil yun nga,
Of
may kita
course.
mo yung other hopefuls na
Mhm.
tao. Tao din sila
Mhm.
and we are all humans na masaya lang na hindi kami parang pressured sa
Mhm.
nangyayari and we're just bunch of people na aspiring na maging artist someday and gumawa ng music and gawin yung mga bagay na sobrang gusto nilang gawin.
Mhm. Of course, I'm sure you bond over like the same goals and the same interests since everyone there likes to sing and all of that. So, next up, Idol Philippines, we know it has the weekly format, and I'm sure that preparing a new song every week can get stressful. So, for you, as a student, as an Idol contestant, what's some advice you can give like on time management and weekly preparation? Since college students, I think, can also relate to preparing things
Yes.
weekly. Right.
So, sa preparation siguro,
Mhm.
being a student and also
Mhm.
competing sa Idol Philippines, ang ma-advise ko lang siguro is wag munang isipin yung mga bagay na hindi pa deadline. Kasi ako, personally,
Okay.
personally kasi ako mahilig ako mag-work under pressure. So, kapag malapit na yung deadline, dun lang ako gagawa and yung utak ko mas gumagana pag ganun yung tinatanim
Okay.
ko. So, ayun, wag niyo munang isipin yung mga bagay na hindi pa naman malapit. Para sa akin,
Diamonds are
Oo.
made under pressure for
Yes.
some.
For some. for some people.
Yeah,
And
for some.
yun, consistency and practice dahil dun tayo matututo.
Of course, of course. And yeah, you have to be consistent with that. So, does this also apply to your preparations for doing ASAP?
Yes, sobrang
Of
laking
course, it does.
yes, sobrang laking bagay nung ginawa sa amin ng Idol Philippines dahil yun nga, hindi lang siya basta-basta competition, and during
Mm-hmm.
that phase, um, we are we experience a lot of things na hindi lang basta talent yung kinukuha nila or
Mm-hmm.
basta wits or excellence with music lang yung pinapractice ka nila to, yeah nga, hence the title itself, to be the idol na may
Mm.
kita mo on screen na magpe-perform or may kita sa mga interviews tulad nito. And yun, sobrang laking bagay ng Idol Philippines and sobrang laking bagay yung mga training na ginawa namin during that phase.
It's really character building, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
for
Yeah, and
sure.
like you, right, and like you said, you really become an all-arounder. So that's good for you as well. So your time on ASAP, tell us a little bit about how it's like on stage, behind the scenes.
So, ASAP, sobrang,
Mm-hmm.
actually, nung bata ako, pinanonood ko lang yung ASAP eh. And ngayon, nasa
And then
stage
now
na
you're
ako
there,
performing
full
with other
circle moment.
artists. Yes, sobrang grateful ako. Sobrang thankful ako sa mga taong nakapaligid sa akin sa work, sa ABS-CBN, and also Star Music for helping me out to be the artist na gustong-gusto ko. And yun nga, working with other artists tulad ni Sir Gary, Miss Regine, and other
Mm.
OPM icons, sobrang laking treat nun sa amin bilang aspiring artist na nagsisimula pa lang, and makarinig sa kanila ng mga piece of advice na pwede namin dalhin in the long run sa aming career. Sobrang grateful kami sa kanila, and yun yung hindi mababayaran ng pera, yung mga experiences and yung mga advices from the icons talaga. Kaya sila nandyan dahil yun yung dala nila.
Absolutely. So from these icons, what's one piece of advice you can share?
One piece of advice na
Yeah.
pwede
Or
i-share.
okay, a bundle of advice that you can share, but
Marami, oo.
any from one of the icons. We're so curious.
Siguro, every time na magkakausap kami ng mga icons or magkakaroon kami ng mga small talks, iisa lang yung mga sinasabi nila. Um, Yun nga, mas malaking bagay yung character. Kasi yun nga, we're here in the Philippines na parang majority ng tao marunong kumanta. Maraming
Yeah, that's
magaling,
true.
maraming excellent pagdating sa singing, pero we are kami yung mga taong nabigyan ng chance. Hindi kami magaling, suwerte lang kami. And ayun lang yun yung hindi ko talaga makakalimutan na yun, mas malaki yung
Interesting.
factor nung pagkakaroon ng magandang character kaysa magaling sa talento.
Hello. Sorry. Okay, my audio cut for a bit. Hello?
Hello, 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 hello.
Okay, you're back. I don't know what's wrong with my computer today, but that's actually a very interesting insight to the industry. And like for you to
Yeah.
hear that from the people you looked up to, that's like, wow, I'm sure that's like a completely different feeling. So, anyway, music career, you told me that you've been in chorale. Of course, in Idol Philippines, you sing like so many different songs across genres. You do covers, and of course, you have your original. So, let's talk about your different headspaces. First of all, how would you say your headspace or your line of thinking is different when you're singing by yourself versus when you're singing with a group?
Siguro, ano siya para sa akin hindi siya magkaibang mundo.
Okay.
So, yun lang din. Syempre, we all know na kapag kumakanta ka, we have to engage
Mm-hmm.
our body, syempre, and also
Yeah, yeah.
emotions. And
Mm-hmm.
same with group singing, also solo performance. So, ganun ko siya nakikita.
All right. Of course, both of them are just as important as the other.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, how different is your headspace when you're singing like original songs or songs that you wrote versus covers or words that other people wrote?
Um, Siguro mas ano lang siya, mas intimate lang yung kapag kinakanta ko yung mga kanta ko dahil
Mm.
syempre galing siya sa personal experiences, galing siya sa mga bagay na nangyari sa akin, pwede ring yung mga bagay na nangyari sa ibang tao. And ganun din naman sa covers, sa mga covers, pero mas ano lang siya, mas intimate lang yung dating kapag
Intimate.
yung mga bagay na sinulat ko yung kinakanta ko.
Mm. I've never heard it described that way before, as like a different intimacy when you're singing like your words versus others. So
Yeah.
first time that was described to me. So now we talked about how you were trained to be an all-arounder, but what is a super important non-music skill that has helped you in your career as a musician so far?
Siguro yung pakikisama.
Pakikisama. Of course.
Dahil, yun nga, tulad nga ng mga advice nila na mas maganda yung magkaroon ka ng magandang character kaysa sa sobrang galing mong kumanta. And
Mm.
yun, yung pakikisama na yun is, kahit saan naman sigurong working environment, kailangan ng pakikisama and actually, dun ka rin mag-grow eh.
Okay. People skills, you're right.
Yeah,
That's for any industry. You really need to know how to be able to talk to people, whether you're on stage, in an office, in a classroom,
exactly.
especially now. So the other day I saw the picture you posted of all of your trophies. So you're so young, but you're so multi-awarded. How does that feel?
Actually, yun lang din, siguro, ano lang, sobrang ano ko lang sa sarili ko. Sobra lang ako magbigay ng pressure sa sarili ko na at sa ganitong timeline kailangan meron akong gawin, meron akong gawing bagay or meron akong i-achieve. So, ganun ko siya tignan na yun, sobra lang ako nagbibigay ng pressure sa sarili ko pero in a good way, good pressure naman.
Good pressure. Okay, that's one way of it. So you have like this internal calendar for yourself, like of milestones you want to hit and when? Hello?
Mm.
Yes.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, ayun, nagbibigay ako ng timeline pero hindi ko rin naman parang nilalagyan ng frustration. Kung hindi mangyari, okay lang.
That's good.
Parang next time ulit, parang gawin ko na lang ulit. Pero kung magagawa ko naman, thank you. Ganun ko siya tignan.
That's a very healthy mindset. So now let's talk about your release called Nasunog. So this was your first single on your upcoming album. Can you share like the story behind it? Especially because I know that it started out as a poem.
Yes, and yun nga, Sir Jonathan and I, while writing this song, nag-start siya sa isang tula lang. Sa isang tula ko na sinulat ko way back pa nung
Okay.
meron pa akong girlfriend. Wow. Ayun, na nasa isang relationship ako na, yun nga, na ano ba yung mga bagay na hindi na pwedeng ibalik pa. So, doon siya nag-start and yun din yung tanong namin ni Sir Jonathan nung sinusulat namin yung kantang yun. Ano ba yung mga bagay na hindi na pwedeng ibalik? So, yung mga bagay na nasunog na. So, doon na umikot yung kanta and doon umikot yung paksa nung kung ano man yung nangyari doon sa song na yun.
Mm. It was a good concept, mostly because it was relatable, not only in like the context of a relationship, but I think there are a lot of things on earth, sadly, that can make you feel burnt out or that does burn you. So to see it presented that way was especially different. Like I saw the short film. Did you have a hand in this?
Yes,
Yeah.
meron din participation dun sa short film na yun and sobrang galing ng team and actually first time lang ginawa ng Star Music na mag-incorporate ng CGI sa isang short film or music video. So, sobrang grateful ako dahil yung music video ko pa yung napili na ma-showcase yung ganong output. Kaya, Star Music, I love you.
I wanted to ask you about that actually because like there was the CGI robot, there was Enchong D, and there was I think like it really captured the story that you just told with the song. So tell us more about how this came to be.
So ayun, inside Job Studios,
Mm-hmm.
nag-meet kami na yun
Mm-hmm.
nga yung concept nila na mag-incorporate ng computer-generated images sa isang music video. So ako, sobrang na-excite ako. Dahil yun nga,
Of
aside
course.
sa CGI, first time din gagawin ng Star Music. So parang first time sa lahat.
It's an
So
honor.
yeah, it's an honor talaga. And during the shoot, di ko rin alam na si si Kuya si Enchong yung magli-lead dun sa music video. Kaya sobrang di ko rin alam eh. Ngayon, nautal ako. Di ko pa rin kung paano, pero sobrang thankful ako sa
Pinch me, I'm
mga nangyari.
dreaming moment.
Sobra. And ayun, lahat naman ng concept is nag-meet naman and yung expectation sobra-sobra pa dahil kita nyo naman yung output. Sobrang seamless, sobrang makabagbag damdamin and kung hindi nyo pa napapanood, panoorin nyo na. And for sure, magugustuhan nyo and hopefully magustuhan nyo.
Yeah, like I said, it's very different. It's very unique. So it's something that people should be tuning into. So on that note, since you said that this did start as a poem, something that you wrote a long time ago, and then it became a concept that you and Tito Jonathan wrote on. Tito Jonathan Manalo was here a few months ago. So I enjoyed listening to his songwriting process. So now it's time to talk about yours. Given that this started as a poem, are you a lyrics first, melody second, or are you some type of hybrid of in between?
Siguro masasabi ko na hybrid ako minsan.
Hybrid, okay.
Dahil yun nga, minsan nagsa-start ako ng concept sa sulat ko bago ako gumawa ng melody or meron din time na nakakaisip ako ng mga hooks or melody sa utak ko tsaka ako gagawa ng lyrics, doon ako magre-rely. So, masasabi ko na hybrid yung style ng songwriting ko.
Yeah, it's nice not to limit yourself also, especially when inspiration just hits you at random moments. So now, on that note, how do you get out of a writer's block if you ever encounter it?
Nako po.
And this is
Siguro,
applicable to more things than
yeah,
songwriting.
yeah. And siguro, writer's block. Siguro, ginagawa ko, nagpapahinga muna ako for 5 or 10 minutes. Tsaka ako babalik doon sa ginagawa ko.
Mm-hmm.
Mas ano siya, mas healthy siya and at the same time, mas hindi siya frustrating while writing those songs.
I'm sure. And it's really hard to force ideas. Like
Yeah.
I said, when it comes to anything, songs, schoolwork, it's really hard to squeeze things out of your brain. And you're right, it's better to take a break. So now about your routines, like when you write, like are there specific things that you need to do or to get yourself like in the mood to write a song? Like some people have told me they go on a walk first, then they sit down, write their song, or some people like down a cup of coffee. So do you have anything like that?
Ako siguro nag-noodle ako with my guitar. Siguro for
Okay.
30 minutes. For 30 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
tapos sulat na ako kanta niya. Siguro, yun. Nag-noodle ako ng gitara ko. So,
All right.
strum, gawa ng mga stuff with my guitar and yun, sulat ako.
So back to Nasunog. If the audience were to take away one line from the song, any line at all, which do you think it should be?
Siguro, the chorus.
The chorus. The
Yung,
chorus.
yeah.
Which
Dahil,
line
yun nga.
specifically? You don't have to sing it, but just tell us which line specifically.
Tapos mali babalik.
All right.
Since natunog nga siya, nasunog,
Mhm.
tapos mali babalik, madarang ka man sa ibang apoy lumapit. Kahit nangako ka sa langit na tayo lang dalawa, may babalik pa ba ako nasunog? So, yan. May babalik pa ba ako
Pain.
nasunog na?
Pain.
Pain.
But yeah, it's a good song. And later I'll ask you to invite the viewers to listen to it. And of course, to watch the short film. Everyone really needs to see the effects that went into that. But now, let's talk about your influences as well. You like Earth, Wind, and Fire, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye. Who else? And why do you consider these people like your influences and inspirations?
Yun, sobrang like Earth, Wind and Fire, siguro nakinig ako sa kanila. Actually, napanood ko sila. Ay, narinig ko sila sa movie na Drumline. So, yung merong
Okay.
part doon na pinlay yung In the Stone ng Earth, Wind and Fire. So, nung time na yun, sabi ko parang ang ganda nung kantang yun dahil kompleto eh. May
Right.
horns,
Mm-hmm.
may banda. So, nung time na yun, nahooked ako sa Earth, Wind and Fire and nung time na yun, pinakinggan ko na siya ng pinakinggan hanggang sa na-realize ko na sobrang as in, sobrang excellent nila with their music and yung history ng banda. Doon ako mas lalo na fascinate. And yun talaga, doon ko na kinuha yung isa sa mga ano ko yun, isa sa mga DNA ko yun na nakuha ko and in-apply ko ngayon sa music ko.
Yeah.
So,
It
ayun.
became a part of you na.
Mm.
Yeah, all right. So now let me take the time to read some comments. So Maria Victoria Eda Ponan, good afternoon. So good afternoon to you too. Thank
Hello
you for
po.
always tuning in. So hi. And from Florida, Masimnaring, hi Khimo, idol ko yan with finger heart. So say hello to the audience.
Hello po.
Don't forget that if you guys have questions or anything you want to say or ask, the comment section is open. We can read them out at any time. Now's your chance. So Khimo, back to music. You have an upcoming album. When is this set to release?
Ayun, may upcoming album ako with Star Music and
Yeah. Mhm.
magda-drop kami ng full album sa, I guess, ngayong October. Kaya abangan nyo guys.
October, okay.
Dahil yung album na yun is not your typical album dahil nung ginagawa namin siya, wala kaming format, wala kaming formula kung paano
Oh,
gawin.
okay.
Kung ano man yung, kasi yung half nung album na, half nung mga tracks is ginawa namin with Sir Jonathan and yung half naman is yung mga songs na sinulat ko bago pa yung Idol Philippines. So, ayun,
Wow,
sobrang
okay.
excited nung album na yun dahil yun nga, wala kaming formula, walang genre, walang specific genre kung ano yung ilalagay namin doon. Kung ano yung naramdaman namin nung time na yun, yun yung out. And
That's pretty cool. So we'll be seeing like a mixture of old and new songs. So you mentioned that there were songs that were from pre-Idol Philippines time. And of course, these songs have meaning to you. I'm sure they had meaning to you just as much then as they do now. But for you, as the person who wrote this song, do you find like the meanings of the things you write, do you see that they change over time or grow with you somehow?
sa tingin ko, nag-grow siya dahil yun nga, meron ako mga songs na sinulat ko nung mga teenage years ko na nung nakikita ko medyo tumatagilid ako, medyo na-cringe ako.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Ayun, yung mga sulat ko ngayon, ayun, sabi ko na na-develop siya and nag-grow siya. Kaya with Star Music pa na lalo na si Sir Jonathan, sobrang sobrang saya ni Sir Jonathan katrabaho
Yeah.
and gumawa ng songs with him. Sobrang hands down. Respeto talaga.
His mind. And yes, you're growing as both a person and as an artist. So for sure that's something to see. Now, a while ago we talked about how you're a writer because you're a reader. So as a reader, what books can you recommend or what books have inspired you or inspired your song so far?
Siguro, isa sa mga books na
Mhm.
ano
Like,
siya eh, literature siya eh. So,
yeah.
Animal Farm, George Orwell.
Animal Farm, of course. That's something that everyone needs to read.
Yeah, for sure. And ayun, siguro ano siya eh, actually applicable siya sa lahat ng bagay.
Mhm.
And ayun, tungkol siya sa buhay, tungkol siya sa perspective ng tao. So, doon ko siya doon ko siya nakuha and doon ko rin nakuha yung part ni Kimo na kailangan minsan maging tao para para sa tao.
Yeah, and I see now why you were a good fit in political science because that's the book that you mentioned.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a book that, as I said, everyone should read because I feel like no matter what point in history we are, the message stays the same, and it's
Yeah.
something that people need to remember. All right, so favorite genre of books to read?
Hindi ako ma-fictional eh. So,
You're not a fiction. That's interesting. Okay.
yung mga books na siguro yung mga pwedeng mag-iwan ng malaking impact sa buhay mo. Anything,
Mm-hmm. Anything at
siguro.
all. Authors. Any authors that
Author,
stand out to you? Mm-hmm.
Robert Greene.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Top 5 books that you can recommend to the audience. Or say, let's make it 3, and these 3 have to attribute to one part of your personality. You can't say Animal Farm anymore.
Yeah. Siguro, eto ngayon ko lang to sasabihin.
Yeah. Great.
Siguro, 48 Laws of Power.
Mm-hmm.
Also, any books from Murakami.
I enjoy reading Murakami also.
Yeah. And siguro last,
But Murakami's pretty fiction, so I'm surprised that you mentioned.
yeah, siguro
Mm.
yung Murakami side ko, nakuha ko siya sa ex-girlfriend ko and nagustuhan ko siya. And siguro third book. Wala akong maisip ngayon pwede kong ibigay sa tao.
You
Ikaw
can tell
ba?
a lot by person. Me, you want to, okay,
Hmm.
my book. So my first book would be The Little Prince. Because
Yeah.
yeah, Little Prince. Because if we said that Animal Farm, that one, the message will stay the same. No matter what point in history we are, the lesson will be the same, and it's something that people need to learn. I feel like with The Little Prince, at any point in your life, it will have a completely different lesson to teach you. Because like, if when I read it when I was young, what I saw was like the creativity and optimism of the drawings. When I got older, all of a sudden the lesson I saw was like the one of the rose. Na it's because he tamed the rose and the fox and everything that made it so important. And then I think now the lesson that sticks with me the most is the one of the lamplighter. So just read the book to figure out what that lesson is. So there, that was my number 1. My second would be okay. You know what? I'm having a hard time answering my own question. So my second would probably be the Percy Jackson series for sentimental value, and because the real story of Percy Jackson series is Rick Riordan wrote it for his son to show his son that look, someone who has like ADHD and dyslexia can be a demigod, and of course that's a very important lesson for people now, especially in the age of social media. Na if you think that something is like a hindrance to you, something makes you different, it's not. It's what makes you special, and everyone has a place, and everyone is powerful in their own way. And then the last one would be, gosh, there's so many because when I was young, I would also read so many books, so like it's also hard to zero in. So I would say it's a toss up between Pride and Prejudice or The Night Circus. So Pride and Prejudice is by Jane Austen. It's a classic. And then The Night Circus is just something to enjoy because it's a story about a traveling circus that only appears at night. And it's really just, nice, fun vibes and all of that. So you still hear your camera turned off.
Hello?
Yeah, you still have to give a third book. I gave
Yeah.
3.
Siguro, okay.
There's also The Timekeeper by Mitch Albom, where these
Siguro,
two people.
Michael Frost
Yeah.
Break.
Sorry, you got cut for a bit.
Siguro,
Mhm. Your sound is a bit muffled right now.
sorry. Hello, hello, hello.
There,
Hello.
you're back.
Siguro, yung anything din from Michael Frost-Berg.
Okay. So nice. That was like quite the spectrum of books we tackled.
pangatain.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, like reading, when I was younger, reading was so much easier. Like I could read. I remember I even kept a tracker. I would be able to read 50 books in a year. But as I got older and
Grabe.
readings for school got heavier, well, it takes me like a whole year to finish like one book for fun because of time and because like as a college student, your energy is really put into studying and all of that.
Exactly.
So now that we're graduated, hopefully it's something that we can all get back into.
And also,
All right. Yes? Yeah, you're saying.
yeah, magbasa ka ng libro dahil iba. Iba siya.
Exactly. Actually, now that I'm older, I really appreciate how reading
Hello?
something long form. Hi. Hi, okay. Reading
Yeah.
something long form is so different from reading like the short form that we do, like posts, tweets. Reading a long book with a cohesive story will really make your
Definitely.
mind work differently, and it's very refreshing. So, Kimo, before the day ends, tell us, where can we find you? Where can we stream your new music? And what performances are you going to be having for the next few weeks?
So yeah, thank you so much for having me here. And once again, I'm Khimo, and please, if you want some of my music, you can follow me on my social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Threads, bagong bago, and also TikTok, KHIMO, wala nang iba. And so stream my latest single na Sunog under Star Music and written by yours Manalo. Thank you so much. And you can also check my latest short film starring the studios to release this wonderful music video. And maraming salamat for having me here. And
All right, thank you. So to me, he's frozen. And before I ask him to say goodbye properly, and before we all say goodbye properly, please allow me to thank a few people first. So first and foremost, this has been New Wave. Thank you to Teo and Sir Justin for handling the broadcast, to Ian and Migoy for helping out with the behind-the-scenes support. To Franz, thank you for helping us get this episode together. Also to the rest of the Star Pop team, thank you for your continued support. So don't miss out. You can follow me on Instagram at Hannah Maxine Cruz and on Twitter or X, Maxine Cruz with an underscore. So catch the replay on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM's Facebook page, YouTube, and Twitter Live, all of which go by at Radyo Katipunan. And you can listen to this episode and many more as a podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Anchor under the name New Wave. But most of all, thank you to our guest, Khimo, for joining us today, sharing your journey of music with us. Books, I enjoyed that conversation as well. And the floor is yours to say anything you want the world to know about you, or anything you missed at all. So go ahead while our computers are still cooperating.
so yeah, once again, thank you so much. And siguro, mang masasabi ko lang, we are all here because of love and to be in this of love. So, but gawin niyo yung mga bagay na mag-inspire sa inyo and also with other people kahit sa maliit na paraan. Kahit sa maliit na paraan dahil minsan may malaki.
What
Hello
you
po.
said actually, yeah. Don't worry, we heard you. So everything through love. And you know what? Fun fact, because this is Radyo Katipunan, everything you said summarized the third year lessons of theology and philosophy. So if there are any third year and fourth year theology and philosophy students listening, you got to remember that. That's going to help you in the oral exam. So anyway, once again, thank you, Khimo, and thank you to everyone who watched. I'm Max, and when it comes to what's happening, I'll
Thank you
serve you
so
the
much.
facts. And this has been New Wave. We'll see you next time. If it's entertainment you crave, catch us on New Wave. Surfing through the latest on our shores. Every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. See you there.
Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.